So this one is for experienced riders only. This video is explicitly for those guys who have been around the block long enough to know there are a few things to know about riding. So all you newbie riders, you young punks, you just swung over a leg over your Ninja 300, this video is not for you. Don't even bother watching this video because you need to ascend to a higher plane of existence, then you can come back and watch this video. Obviously, I am joking, and I know you're gonna watch it anyway because you like to bend the rules. You are an avid watcher of Yammie Noob anyway, so that lends credence to the fact that you are a little bit different than the rest. Hello my sweet squids, veteran barnacles, and everyone in between. I am your seemingly immortal host, Yammie Noob, purveyor of motorcycling's finest memes, curator of Turbo Busas, and avid Daytona sadomasochist. Today we'll be looking at what experienced motorcyclists need to know. While an experienced motorcyclist is hard to define, I want to make the case for a few points that we can use to determine what makes an experienced rider, why they're different than your run-of-the-mill casual everyday motorcyclist, and what they can still stand to learn. Now, I already know what you're thinking. Your name is Yammie Noob. What can you possibly tell me? Well, I'm not sure. Why don't you stick around and find out if I will call you out in this video or not. As per usual, you know the drill, Turbo Busa or die, hit subscribe, I'm giving away bikes and I sure do appreciate likes, which, as a side note, I have to tell you fine people this story. I was recently in an Uber on my way to the airport to depart to London, where I am writing this script as a matter of fact, hashtag jet set, hashtag life in the clouds, etc. And my driver was a nice 55-year-old man. I had my helmet with me and my gear and he asked, "Hey, do you ride motorcycles?" To which I replied, "Of course, my dude. Do you ride?" He said, "Yes. Yes, I do." And I said, "Great. What kind of bike do you ride?" And I swear to God, he hit me with that, "I ride a Hayabusa 1300cc big boy bike and I'm out here ripping it every single day of my life." My friends, I was driven in an Uber by a verified Busa dude and it was glorious. I left him 5 stars and I tipped him $420.69, of course. Willie, if you're watching this video, bless you, my dude. God bless you. All right, let's begin. One thing experienced riders need to look out for is riding way too damn confidently. There's a curve I've discussed before on my channel, how when you start off riding bikes, you're really nervous and you're really unconfident. However, there's a weird thing that happens after about 12 to 18 months or so, where you feel like you've gotten a really good handle on the situation and you find yourself riding a little too aggressively. The important thing to note here is that you are not skilled enough yet for the sort of riding you are doing, which can lead to accidents. Experienced riders are those who recognize their limits, ride at a maximum of 70 to 80% on the street at the very most, and leave the true hooning for the off-road stuff. Because you will not learn anything meaningful about on-the-limit traction, lean angles, or truly riding a motorcycle like a Jedi, as Ari Henning would put it, on the street. You can develop your general sense of how to ride, basic skills, etc., but you will not meaningfully improve your on-the-limit riding on the street, and the experienced rider knows that. The other thing that the experienced rider knows is to be humble. Approaching motorcycling like a discipline rather than a hobby will yield greater results. Lemmy from Revzilla phrased it really well when he called it as being a student of motorcycling. I really like this phrasing. And no, it's not like that meme where, while you were out there being a degenerate, I was a student of the blade. Don't worry, I am not advocating that you spend all of your time honing your craft. Even though, if we're being honest with ourselves, who wouldn't love to just spend all their time riding and getting better? That sounds like an absolute dream. Riding a motorcycle well and confidently is a lifelong study. There's always more to learn, more to understand, and riding in a way that's faster and smoother. It's the same reason MotoGP guys never stop getting better, because there is no real limit. Someone is always going to find a way to go faster. And to be honest, maybe being a fast boy on track isn't your ultimate goal, but the important thing to remember is that you can choose your own adventure. If you want to be a fast boy on a track, then by all means, do it. If you want to be a confident and safe commuter, then do that. Motorcycling has many disciplines. You get to choose your own. The experienced rider knows that dabbling in all aspects of riding is simply going to make you a better rider overall. The experienced rider also knows that the old adage is true. There are 2 types of riders, those who have gone down and those who will. In addition, another turn of phrase I really enjoy is, there are old riders and there are bold riders, but there aren't a whole lot of old and bold riders. Plenty of old and bald riders though, which is what I plan on being. Basically what these phrases are saying is that riding is dangerous. We can take all the precautions we want, but at the end of the day, things happen. Mistakes happen. People happen. Porsches happen. Yammie happens. As an experienced rider, you've probably seen friends go down. Maybe you've been down once or twice yourself, but either way, you're intimately familiar with what can go wrong on a bike, and you fully respect that risk, because you know that by being a motorcycle rider, you're coming up right at the bleeding edge of that risk. And honestly, that's kind of the place that we all want to be when we ride. Experienced riders also recognize that gear isn't a one-time purchase. You'll go through seasons. They get worn out. You might want specialized gear like heated gloves, a winter jacket maybe, or hell, maybe you just really want that new color scheme that a ride just dropped because they only put the cool colorways on their most expensive helmets. God damn it, why, Arai? Can't you give me that cool color option in a regular helmet? Christ. Anyways, yeah, experienced guys understand that gear is something you're just gonna keep buying more of, and they'll justify it constantly to their partners that it's a necessity rather than a silly splurge because, oh my god, that AGV Corsa just looks too damn cool to not get. It's the same story with additional motorcycles. Do you need another bike in the stable? No, certainly not. No one needs 3, 4, or 9 different motorcycles, but variety is the spice of life. Experienced motorcyclists, especially those with the penchant for buying and swapping bikes, you know the type, the guy who has a different bike every 6 months, sometimes every 3 months, are prone to scour Craigslist looking for new and interesting motorcycles. They'll say to themselves, well, I've never owned a super sport with a twin rather than 4 cylinders. Maybe it's time for me to own a Ducati. I mean, why not? Let's do it. And with all of those motorcycles comes the mileage, the all-important wedge in most motorcyclist relationships. We seemingly have to find an amount of mileage that allows us to size up a motorcyclist. Experienced riders understand that this is the no true Scotsman fallacy, in that the definition of a true motorcyclist changes up on the fly depending on the conversation and the ultimate goals of the person having the conversation. An example of this might be someone saying, that guy only rode 1,000 miles last year. Everyone knows a real biker would put on at least 10,000. This is an immature and losing battle. Maybe the guy who put on 1,000 miles did half of those at the track and the other half was weekend mileage because he had some family commitments that came up, or maybe he had to move across the country for a job. What I'm saying is that even though this isn't a microcosm of a motorcycle video, don't judge someone before you know them. Mileage isn't the ultimate indicator of motorcycling. Honestly, neither is years. You might have someone who's been riding for 5 years who's been a true student of motorcycling, done track days, instructional lessons, ridden several bikes, owned more, etc. And you might have had a guy who bought a bike to ride occasionally on the weekends to the bar for the last 10 years. Two very different motorcyclists. Basically, I'm here to tell you that you shouldn't judge each of those people. It's a controversial opinion, I know, but you can't understand a person by the amount of miles they put down in the saddle, so don't be quick to judge. And speaking of coming from places of understanding and non-judgmental behavior, experienced riders know that the best part of motorcycles isn't the lean angles, the wide open throttle acceleration, hell, it's not even cracking mega dank woolies, even though those are fun. It's the people you meet. There's an old Triumph advertisement that said something to the effect of, here's to the people you meet on a Triumph. Bikes have an uncanny way of bringing us together. It's like any other shared hobby or lifestyle. People want to bond over something, so why not make it some manic two-wheel death machine? Motorcycles will open you up to new experiences, new friends, new people. I've met so many interesting people because I started riding, and well, my YouTube channel definitely helped as well, but I think the bikes were really the thing that did it. And last but not least, experienced riders understand that since motorcycling is such a lifestyle, your partner has to be at least cool with it. Ideally, you have a partner who rides as well, because if you love something, why not share things with them? I've heard heartwarming stories of people who rode and then convinced their significant others to swing a leg over a bike, and now they ride together. How sweet is that? How nice. Experienced riders understand how special motorcycle riding is, especially those who have been down or have lost loved ones to it. It's a great privilege to be able-bodied and to swing a leg over a bike. For me, I feel such a tremendous level of gratitude every time I click my bike down into first gear and ride away, because I was fortunate enough to get a second chance after riding like an absolute dingus. Not many people get that chance, so now my quest and journey in life is to teach others by example. Ride safe, have fun. Make it to the point where you're an experienced rider and you're smiling watching a newbie stall their bike because you remember when you were there yourself. Motorcycles are incredibly special, and there's nothing quite like it in this world. Treat them with respect, love yourself enough to ride safe, not only for yourself, but those around you who love you and do not endanger anyone else's loved ones. So that's it, guys. To all the experienced riders out there who watched this video, thank you. And to all the newbies who watched it, well, Papa Yam can't stay too mad at you, you lovable little scamp. So what do you guys think? Did I miss anything that the experienced rider knows that they should impart onto the young and impressionable? And to the newbies, drop a comment below letting me know what questions you have around riding so the experienced guys can hopefully drop some wisdom on you. And of course, if you're looking to get started with motorcycling, there is no better way to do that than to sign up for our beginner bike giveaway series. I have no idea when this video is going to come out since I'm literally riding it on a plane. However, at this moment, we have an amazing FZ07 ready to take home. There's word on the grapevine that we might do an R3 and RC390 as our next bike, so stay tuned for that. The FZ07 does have an awesome full Leo Vinci system on it. It sounds absolutely incredible and very loud and would make a worthy bike for a beginner or an experienced rider alike. Do me a favor, hit the link below and learn how you can get started to win the bike. But that's going to wrap up today's video. Thanks again for tuning in. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later. Fact: Yammie does in fact care very much about you. Ride safe. Seriously, don't do what I did. Goodbye.